Good evening. Welcome public health students, alumni, public health working professionals, faculty, and public health leaders. The National Board of Public Health Examiners, or the NBPHE, would like to celebrate the second of the National Public Health Week with you by presenting a 1-hour webinar geared towards explaining the Certified in Public Health, or CPH Credential. This presentation will be about 45 minutes with 15 minutes for questions. At the completion of the webinar, I will follow up with a PDF of the presentation, a YouTube link for future playback, along with a CPH candidate handbook, the CPH content outline, and some sample questions. There is, in the right-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice there's a question box for you to key in questions in the right-hand corner of the screen, and I'll answer them as we go along. My name is Kate Brundage, and I'm the Certification Program Manager for the National Board of Public Health Examiners, the NBPHE. We are located in Washington, D.C., and we are available by email or phone at any time during business hours, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Today we will be discussing the NBPHE and the CPH exam, the history, the board of directors, statistics and growth, and the Institute for Credentialing Excellence and the NCCA accreditation. Then we'll go over why the CPH, benefits and testimonials, how employers view the CPH, the pilot program and findings, why is this important to me, and ASPPH public health jobs. We will go over the CPH process from eligibility, what it means to be a provisional CPH versus an actual CPH. We'll go over the CPH exam content, computer-based versus paper and pencil examinations and the difference between the two, how the CPH exam is scored, registering for the exam, students and alumni, payment vouchers, public health work eligibility, rescheduling, scheduling, deferrals, retaking the exam, Cph Study Resources, CPH exam fees and discounts, and finally we'll touch upon Cph Recertification. If you're having trouble hearing me, please key it into the questions box, and that way I will know. Unless I see anything, I will continue. The CPH is not just an exam, it's a credential, which means it has a governing board of directors. It has eligibility requirements, it has an entrance exam, and a recertification process every 2 years with a code of ethics that all CPH must adhere to. The CPH exam acts as a standard benchmark to measure an individual's grasp of contemporary public health topics. The recertification process elevates the CPH to be on par with other public health professional maintenance licenses and certifications, and the CPH Code of Ethics, which all CPH professionals must agree to uphold, assures the essential services are being delivered based on evidence and equity. So how did this come about? We all know who ASPPH is, right? The Membership Association for Schools and Programs of Public Health. And APHA, the American Public Health Association, which is the membership association for public health individuals. So in 1980, the U.S. Surgeon General Office went out with a call to the field to establish a task force for the creation of credentialing public health workers. In 1999, Dr. Mohammed Akhtar, the executive director of APHA, and then Dr. Al Sommer, dean of Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health and the chair of the board of ASPPH, decided to jointly form the APHA-ASPPH Task Force on Public Health Workforce Credentialing. There was a steering committee on public health workforce credentialing created after the task force reached out to stakeholders, and the ASPPH Executive Committee approved developing an independent board of public health to issue examinations and provide those that pass the exam with a credential. The MBPHE was established in 2005, and the inaugural certification in public health exam was administered both in U.S. and international locations in August of 2008. The MBPHE award its inaugural certification credential to over 500 qualifying professionals. The MBPHE board is comprised of 6 executive committee members, 13 board of members at large, 2 honorary members, and 2 staff members. The following are some of the organizations that employ MBPHE board members. These member organizations support the efforts of the MBPHE in the credentialing of public health professionals. They do this by spreading the word of the growing credential and by providing meaningful continuing educational opportunities for the community of CPH professionals. You will see here that the American Public Health Association is listed, Association of Prevention and Teaching and Research, ASPPH, ASHTO, the National Association of County and City Health Officials, as well as the Council on Education for Public Health. Since 2008, the MBPHE has credentialed over 56 CPH professionals. We have about 500 provisionally certified CPHs at any given time, and I'll go into what that means a little bit later in the presentation. There's about 2,000 applicants in the pipeline at any given time. We have 10 schools and programs that require the CPH in order to graduate. We have 13 schools and programs who offer a discount for the CPH exam. And we have 6 organizations who strongly encourage the CPH exam and offer a discount for the CPH exam. We have been a proud member of the Institute for Credentialing Excellence, ICE, since 2014. As a proud member of ICE, the MBPHE stays informed on best practices in developing and administering quality certification programs so that we may better serve you. We have plans to apply to the National Commission on Certifying Agency, the NCCA accreditation program, to prove that the MBPHE has met and can maintain professional standards of excellence with all of our processes: ethics, governance, test development, security, and just ensure that we have the proper protocols in place. So why the CPH? The Certified in Public Health CPH credential is the only credential of its kind in public health that demonstrates not only your knowledge of key public health sciences, but also your commitment to the field through continuing education focused on emerged and established public health issues. The #1 vision of the MBPHE is to professionalize the field of public health and to raise the visibility of the field itself. We strive to do this by administering the only public health examination that encompasses all core and cross-cutting areas of the field. We want to create an elite community of certified graduates, working professionals, faculty, leaders, and pioneers in public health. The CPH credential, like most certifications, demonstrate dedication and commitment to the field, beyond education and into the workforce. The vision includes having a core standard body of knowledge for public health professionals to use. And lastly, to promote continuing education and lifelong learning. There are many reasons to get certified, but public health professionals need to stay at the forefront of their field. This is accomplished by thoroughly understanding the interaction between different specialized areas of public health, learning new strategies to cope with disasters, and constantly staying ahead of any threat. The CPH credential helps public health professionals achieve these evolving goals. Some benefits include increasing professionalism and building your career. The CPH provides mastery of core sciences and skills and knowledge. There are chances for potential salary increases and promotions. Earning a job in public health for those students who haven't entered the public health workforce yet. And the CPH assures that you have met and can maintain a national standard of excellence. I'd like to share some testimonials with you before we really hash out the benefits and reasons to sit for the exam. Evidence of mastery in core skills and knowledge. This is Tanya Smith. She's a CPH. She's one of the members of our pilot cohort, which I'll go into a little bit later about what our pilot cohort was all about. And she says that though I don't hold an MPH, I bring many years of invaluable real-world public health experience to the table. I reviewed the ASPPH CPH study guide as well as many other resources. 3 months later, I successfully passed the first exam to be offered to candidates based solely on prior work experience, and it has been one of my proudest professional accomplishments. Salary increases and promotions. This is Laura Ricardo from the United States Army. She's from the Army Nurse Corps. She's a CPH, and she says that once I've received my passing notice of the CPH exam, I received an $80,000 incentive bonus offered at that time in 4 increments and have continued to proudly serve my commission. Prove that you have met and can maintain a national standard in public health. This is Patrick Harper, Lieutenant Commander of the United States Public Health Service, and he earned his CPH as well as his MPH, and he says that my CPH affirms that I possess the means to positively change lives, and it motivates me to remain dedicated to doing just that. I accept this challenge proudly in honor of my fellow CPH certified colleagues, my branch of service, and most importantly, the nation whose health I have sworn to protect, promote, and advance. So, I have my MPH. Why do I need my CPH? This is the thing I hear most from students and graduates is, you know, if you have your MPH, what does the CPH really do for you? So I already said that we had 10 accredited schools and programs of public health that are now requiring you to pass the CPH exam to graduate to earn your MPH. So students and alumni will not earn their MPH without achieving CPH certification first. This tells us that the CPH exam tests knowledge and competency that a graduate level student or alumni should know to graduate with an MPH to work in public health. The CPH should be your next stop after earning the MPH in achieving a leadership role in public health. The CPH exam may be the culminating experience for all accredited schools and programs of public health to graduate with your MPH. It's important to recognize that the CPH and the MPH go hand in hand. Employers are using the CPH as a hiring tool, and you want to distinguish yourself from thousands of resumes that simply say MPH by adding CPH. The CPH says that you were willing to take the time out of your busy schedule to take the next step in your career, show that you are dedicated and serious about the field of public health. You want to outshine your competitors in your profession, prove that you have mastered all core and cross-cutting areas of key contemporary public health sciences, go above and beyond your education, prepare and sit for a voluntary exam that you're probably going to sit for on your weekend off. It shows employers that you can maintain the CPH credential with continuing education, that you're dedicated, that you want to outshine your competitors, that you're a professional in public health, and that you are invested in your career. Why do employers care about the CPH? Here is a testimonial that I have from an employer. She says that as a public health administrator in both local and state health departments, I often was responsible for hiring decisions. I found a great deal of variability in the form and content of graduate degrees in public health. The CPH is a credential recognizable by employers, providing assurance that an applicant possesses a solid knowledge base in core public health content areas routinely used in practice in public health departments. What do these organizations all have in common? They all want their employees to get the CPH credential. So I want to pause briefly here to tell you about our pilot program. In the summer of 2015, we opened up a trial period to see if individuals who have 5 years of public health work experience, plus a bachelor's in any concentration, would qualify to sit for the CPH exam. In 2 months, we had received several applications from individuals currently working in the public health workforce. These individuals have been sitting for the exam and obtaining the credentials, and they're really pushing the credential forward within their health departments and within their organizations, their public health related organizations. The MBPHE is even starting to see that employers are starting to recognize the CPH. They're starting to put a preference or a requirement for the CPH within their job postings. And so we're really starting to see the CPH populate the public health workforce. And with that being said, you should earn the credential while you're still in school, or even if you're a graduate, a recent graduate. So why is this important to me? Since opening our eligibility to individuals currently working in the public health work field, the CPH credential is populating the public health workforce. More employers are acknowledging the credential and offering to pay or reimburse for the exam and recertification fees. More employers are offering salary increases or promotions to those that earn the credential. Some organizations are offering a discount for the CPH exam and free study materials for their entire department, staff, or membership to sit for the exam. Some organizations are setting up learning courses to prepare their employees for the exam. Some CPH accredited schools and programs are putting a requirement to pass the CPH exam to graduate with your MPH. Other CPH accredited schools and programs are offering a discount for the CPH exam and free study materials to their students and alumni for significant Cph participation to sit for the CPH exam. We're also seeing a trend of employers putting a preference and a requirement for the CPH in their job postings. So again, how does this relate to me? If you're a student, there are some students that are being required to earn the CPH to graduate with their MPH. When you graduate and you enter the public health workforce, you're going to see your peers and or competitors with the MPH plus the CPH behind their name. So don't get left behind. Whether your school or program extends a discount or requires the exam for graduation, you should still sit for the CPH while you are still in school. You are at a disadvantage against your MPH CPH peers if you do not. Why is this important to alumni? Whether you are already working or whether you're searching for a job, you're going to see the CPH credential and you're going to be at a disadvantage if you do not achieve it. Students graduating, coming up from under you, are sitting for and earning the CPH credential. Professional colleagues who are currently already out there in the field are proudly boasting about their passing of the CPH exam and framing their certificates. So don't get left behind. Working professionals, because of you, the CPH is being driven forward into local and state public health departments. You're raising the visibility of the credential and the public health field itself, going back to our mission, and you're driving CPH recertification forward. So with all that being said, I just wanted to point out a resource to you if you are looking to find a job or to obtain a position in public health or obtain a promotion. There's a website called ASPPHpublichealthjobs.org, and recently public health jobs just got changed. The website was revamped, and there's a lot of new features for job seekers and employers, but basically this website is only for individuals who are looking for public health specific jobs. And again, this is an ASPPH website, and from their website we have been able to gather some data that these organizations right here are putting a preference or a requirement for the CPH in order to work for them. So the CPH process. The CPH process begins with eligibility. You need to determine whether you're eligible under the 4 pathways that we provide as eligibility criteria. Next, you need to prepare for, schedule, and sit for the CPH exam. Lastly, we will discuss recertification and continuing education. So, all alumni of CPH accredited schools and programs of public health are eligible to sit for the CPH exam. All students, all graduate students who have completed or are enrolled in the core coursework of biostatistics, epidemiology, environmental health, health policy management, and behavioral sciences are eligible to sit for the CPH exam. We opened up the pilot to be a permanent eligibility pathway. So now if you're a public health worker, if you're in the workforce and you have a minimum of 5 years of public health experience plus a bachelor's degree in any concentration, verified by references and transcripts, you're eligible to sit for the CPH exam. And lastly, we have a hybrid category. It's a little bit of both. You are an individual who have taken the core courses at a CPH accredited school or program of public health, but you either have a public health related graduate degree or you have taken the core courses plus you have obtained a minimum of 3 years of public health work experience. So those are the 4 ways to apply to the exam. I mentioned earlier there's a difference between provisionally certified and active CPH. Alumni and individuals qualifying with work eligibility and or the hybrid program, the candidates that pass the CPH exam are automatically certified as an active CPH professional. We will send you your username and password to the Cph Recertification portal. You can begin to accumulate CE credits and track them in your portal. You'll receive the Cph virtual certificate, a unique URL that you can send to employers and upload to your LinkedIn and email signature. You'll be able to we will place your name on the CPH, on the search for a CPH registry. You'll be able to put the CPH behind your name and on your business cards and social media platforms. You'll be able to purchase CPH merchandise. You'll be invited to the CPH LinkedIn group where we post about recertification opportunities occurring. And you'll receive the CPH quarterly newsletter and e-blast updates to let you know about upcoming public health events and continuing education activities occurring in your area. So students who pass the CPH exam are provisionally certified until their graduation. So this means that when a student sits for the exam and passes, they are allowed to put provisional CPH on their resume. However, until they graduate, they won't be an active CPH. They won't be able to accumulate recert credits. You'll have a username and password to the Recert portal to see your scores. However, you won't be able to track any credits. You won't get the certificate yet. So basically, once you've graduated, your school or program knows to log back into our system and to verify your graduation date in the system. And once they do that, it'll kick me an email to go ahead and certify you. So once that has happened, you'll get an email from me saying that you are now an active CPH. And then we will send you the username and password and do X, Y, and Z, as we said on the previous slide. So, the CPH exam. The CPH exam has 25 items of general principles, core areas, and cross-cutting. There are 30 items in biostatistics. There are 30 items in epidemiology. There are 30 items in environmental health sciences, 30 in health policy and management, and 30 in social and behavioral sciences. The cross-cutting areas, there are only 25 questions per these categories. So 25 questions for communication and informatics, diversity and culture, leadership, professionalism, program planning, public health biology, and systems thinking. The CPH is a timed exam. 200 questions, multiple choice. You have 4 hours to take the exam. You are not allowed to bring any calculators or scratch paper to the exam. However, I have been told that you do not need to calculate any math. You just need to simply be aware of formulas and be able to recognize them. There's 2 ways to sit for the exam. We offer the exam by computer-based during the month of February, June, and October. And you can test Monday through Sunday, actually, at 200 plus of our testing centers. So what you would do is if you decided you want to sit for the exam computer-based, you would go to our website and key in your zip code. And that would tell you all of the testing centers that are close to your area. And what you would do is you would schedule the exam, drive to that testing facility on that day, sit for the exam with a proctor, and your exam results would be printed out for you at the completion of the exam. We offer paper and pencil exams as well. This is mostly for schools and programs or large organizational groups that want to get their entire department certified. And this would be, we need 90-day lead time, and you would have to have a minimum of 8 candidates. However, if you were interested in this, we would set up a paper and pencil exam at your campus or at your organization, and all of your employees or all of your students and alumni would sit on the same day to get CPH certified. Now, the difference between computer-based exams and paper-based exams is that the computer-based exams, you're going to go to a testing location near your home. It includes instant scoring, so you'll know whether you failed or passed after you hit submit on the exam. And lastly, you have 72 hours to register or reschedule. This differs from paper and pencil exams. With paper and pencil exams, you need to register 30 days in advance. You also are not going to get instant scoring with paper and pencil exams. After everybody tests on the campus on the same day at the same time, all of the test booklets will be sent back to our testing vendor, who will then score the exams, and you will receive your results about 3 to 4 weeks later. Score reporting. Candidates that pass by computer-based testing, they're going to receive their scores right away. It's going to be a percentage, and that's it. Candidates who do not pass are going to receive a scaled score, so a percentage in each area of the exam, those core areas I was talking about in the cross-cutting. It's going to break it down for you so you know which areas to study and prepare with for the next retake. Also, students and alumni who are going to be sitting for the exam, your scores will be sent to the schools and programs. They'll be sent to the dean or the program director by hard copy mail, and no one else will see your scores except for the dean or the program director. And what they do is they will use those scores to basically say, hey, all of our students aren't really doing that well in health policy and management. Maybe we should beef up the curricula in that area. So it really helps with process improvement for schools and programs. How is the CPH exam scored? Each item is examined for its performance, discrimination, and difficulty. We have content-based analysis that determines the minimum passing standard required to achieve certification. It's handled on a pass-fail basis, and the pass rate is 75% of people that take the exam on the first time pass. We can't share the passing score with you at this time because there are so many different forms of the exam that there's a different cut score for each exam. And basically the way that this goes is that we have an item bank analysis to see where our item bank is deficit. And then we'll train volunteers on writing assignments for the CPH exam bank. An item writing review committee will take a look at everything that they have written, and then a form review committee will look at the way the whole form goes together as a whole. There's a post-test analysis done, and then there's a passing score set. Following the administration of an exam, the form review committee examines the performance of each item and makes adjustments for items which do not discriminate between strong and weak examinees or simply do not perform well. So registering for the exam. This is the MBPHE website. You're going to go to our website and you're going to go to Get Certified. Under Get Certified is a drop-down. Under that drop-down is Register Now. When you go to Register Now, this is what the page will look like. Students and alumni will want to select the bucket on the left. Those who are qualifying with work eligibility, public health work experience, will click the button in the middle, and those who are doing the hybrid, the two categories of other relevant degree, will click on the right button. So students and alumni, when they click on that button on the left-hand side of the screen for student and alumni registration, it will take them to PSI's website. PSI is our testing vendor. And what you want to do is create an account online. When you create an account online, it's going to send an email over to your school or program, and they will be prompted to log into our system to verify your education as a student or your graduation as an alumni. You'll pay online. Also, if there are any students or alumni that are involved in the CPH group discounts, some schools and programs are offering a discount for the exam. The discount will be reflected at the time of purchase. There are also some schools and programs that use vouchers, a payment voucher that you would need to obtain first when you register in order to see a zero balance reflected. Then you would schedule your exam. The new public health work experience would be that bucket in the middle. You'd select that button to register now, and you would enter your public health work experience into our online application. You'd upload your transcripts and resume. You would pay online. There are discounts available, however, you would pay in full, and after you sit for the CPH exam, you will be mailed a reimbursement check for the difference. Your application will be reviewed, and if you are approved, PSI will contact you to schedule your exam. If you're not approved, you'll be refunded in full. The other relevant degree, the hybrid category on the right, is a Word document that you would download, fill out, and email to info@mbphe.org. So I just wanted to mention that when you go to schedule your exam, the first time you schedule it, it's the first time you need to reschedule, if you need to reschedule, it's free. But if you need to reschedule a second or a third or a fourth time, it's going to be $125 each time you need to reschedule. So just be sure when you schedule your exam, you know exactly what date you want to sit for the exam. From the time that you apply, you have 2 years of eligibility. All scheduling, rescheduling, and deferrals all go through your online account through PSI, or you can call them. There's no limit on how many times you can retake the exam, and there's no time limit on how close together those exams can be. So if you wanted to, if you failed the exam in June, you could retake it later on that month, and maybe you'd be lucky and successful the second time. So there's multiple testing administrations a year, February, June, and October, and we may be going to all year-round testing soon, but stay tuned for that. Cph Study Resources. We have a content outline. That's basically an outline of the exam. It's a map of the exam. We have sample exam questions. We have practice exams. And we have webinars. So this is what the CPH content outline looks like. It's the map to the exam. Basically, every question on the exam points back to one of somewhere in the content outline. So if it's on the content outline, it's on the exam. So you want to use the content outline with the study guide as you prepare. We also have sample questions. There's about 13 of them. They're basically just to show you the format that the exam is in. We have Cph Practice Exams, and these are at no additional cost. You can go to our website and go to CPH Study Resources, and you can access our practice exams. Here is the ASPPH CPH Study Guide. It's an online interactive study guide. There's an overview of each exam content area. There's definitions and terminology. There's suggested readings. There's a 100-question practice test. There's 2 50-question practice tests. There's study tips. And the cost is $39.99 per 1-year subscription. So all study materials on the National Board of Public Health Examiners website are free to you, with the exception of the ASPPH CPH Study Guide, which is $39.99. There are discounts for the ASCPH CPH Study Guide, and when you go to that website, you are able to see those discounts, and we will talk about the discount groups a little bit later on as well. But lastly, we have CPH Webinars. We have 3-hour-long webinars led by expert faculty on each of the core areas and the cross-cutting areas of public health. They're recorded every January. They're free to listen to. And after you're certified, if you find that you're having trouble finding activities to recertify, you can always listen to the CPH study session webinars, again, to earn about 18 CPH recertification credits. So at APHA, the American Public Health Association, at their annual meeting for the past 5 years, we have put on a 2-day learning institute. We have submitted an abstract to do the 2017 APHA CPH Learning Institute again, and if selected, the CPH Learning Institute will be Saturday, November 4th through Sunday, November 5th. And basically, you would sit in a classroom for 2 days at the APHA annual meeting, and you would prepare with expert-led faculty. And on the 3rd day, you would sit for the paper and pencil exam at the APHA annual meeting, if you so desired. The cost to attend the CPH Learning Institute is $350, and then the CPH exam fee, the standard fee is $385, but there are discounts available. So stay tuned for more information. We'll be advertising for this when we get notified. So I'd like to talk about the schools and programs that are currently requiring or strongly encouraging the CPH. This also includes some organizations, as I mentioned before. So there are some schools and programs using the CPH exam in order to graduate. And then these schools and programs have significant CPH participation. There are also organizations with significant CPH participation: ASPPH Fellows, Army Nurse Corps, Army Public Health Center, APHA, Navy Nursing Corps, Commissioned Officers Association, United States Public Health Service. Basically, these organizations are offering a discount for the CPH exam plus free study materials. So as I mentioned, the standard fee is $385 per exam. If you fail the exam and you need to retake the exam is, again, $385. For a school or program that has significant CPH participation, or an organization that wants to get their department certified, or APHA, for example, who is offering a discount to their entire membership if they earn the CPH credential, they are extended a discount of $315 and free study materials. And those schools and programs that are requiring the CPH exam in order to earn your MPH are $250 with free study materials. I just want to touch upon vouchers really quick. If you're thinking about doing this and you're thinking about sitting for the exam, there are those CPH discount groups that I just showed you, those 3 categories, are the only groups that are available that, to purchase vouchers. Some of the CPH groups, discount schools and programs are using the voucher system. Not all of the CPH group discounts schools and programs, and none of the organizations are using the voucher system. It's primarily for students only. However, in some cases, the school and/or program will offer voucher payments to both students and alumni. If your school or program does not offer a voucher code but still extends a discount, the discount will be reflected at time of purchase in your online application. Do not register for the CPH exam without obtaining your payment voucher first. If your school or program is a CPH group discount school or program, which means that they offer a discount for the exam plus free study materials, And if they offer vouchers, which it will say on the website, then you want to contact your program administrator to receive that voucher code. And when you register for the exam, if you put that voucher code in, you'll see the zero balance reflected. So the MBPHE cannot apply a voucher code after you've already paid out of pocket. So that's why it's important to know to obtain the voucher code first and input it to get a zero balance. Don't pay if there are vouchers available. Vouchers are good for 1 year and then they expire. If a student alumni registers and schedules their CPH exam with a specific voucher code, that voucher code is basically locked into that exam and is no longer good for future use. If you aren't sure about, whether you guys are part of the voucher program or not, please feel free to email me at info@mbphe.org. This will bring us to CPH Recertification. So it's a biannual recertification process where you're required to accumulate continuing education credits. So this is something that doesn't involve your current employment. It wouldn't be a presentation at work. It would be a presentation at a conference. So you need to obtain 50 CPH recertification credits every 2 years, and you need to self-report them in your individualized CPH recertification portal that you'll be sent your username and password to. And you need to pay the $95 maintenance fee every 2 years. Some recertification activities include college courses, conferences and professional events, teaching, volunteer and leadership activities, sitting on a board or a committee or a focus group, volunteering in public health in any way, being a CPH item writer or a FAB or CPH accreditation site visitor, medical residencies, dissertations, webinars, podcasts, online trainings, online modules, really anything that is related to public health that is not pertaining to your job, that is outside, so continuing education, you can count for recertification. You're going to get a username and password to your recertification portal that will house your scores. You'll be able to update your contact information. There's a user manual, frequently asked questions, and you'll be able to view your virtual certificate within the portal and your official certificate letter. You can also find pre-approved credits for recertification, although you don't need to use pre-approved CE credits. You can use any kind of public health activity, whether it's approved or not, as long as it's related to public health and it's continuing education. So you're going to obtain 50 CPH credits per year, every 2 years, and you're going to track them in this system here. You can also request an extension and see recertification history in here as well. So I mentioned a little bit about credits. So you can find credits and providers in the portal. And here's kind of what the search looks like. But you can find pre-approved activities for recertification, something that you'll attend and you'll know that it'll definitely count for recertification. But like I said, you can also count activities for recertification that are not pre-approved by MBPHE as long as they relate to one of the public health domain areas. We have pre-approved providers, and we're constantly looking for more. So if you're attending an event, if you're attending a public health conference and they're not one of our pre-approved providers, feel free to email me the event, and I'd be happy to contact them to invite them to become a pre-approved provider of MBPHE CPH recertification credits. So we've added CPH digital badging. Badges are a visual representation of a skill or achievement. And some of the badges that you can earn are Superstar Attendee, Star Presenter, Grants Master, Virtual Learner, Lifelong Learner, Coursework Champ. And basically, the more activities you enter into your portal, the more colorful the badges get. And I'll tell you why that's a little important in a second. We also have virtual certificates. They link to your LinkedIn profile, and here's an example of what the mobile and the URL version would look like. But basically, you'd be given a unique URL that's unique to you that you could give to employers. You could put in your email signature. It attaches to your LinkedIn, and this is a new way that employers can view that you are certified. No more scanning and mailing and faxing in your original certificate. We also do have the hard copy certificate available to you. We have a search for CPH registry. This is where employers can go to key in your last name and see if you are actually an active CPH professional. They'll see your CPH, your MBPHE number, they'll see your digital badges, and they'll be able to print your certificate cover letter. Once you're certified, you'll be eligible to purchase CPH merchandise from Cafe Press. And there's a lot more there than this, so you can go and check it out. There's notebooks, hoodies, backpacks. Also, we want you to stay connected. We have a Facebook group that's open to everybody, and that's where we post things about webinars, upcoming recertification activities, and also any kind of nominations or anything happening with the MBPHE. However, we do have a LinkedIn group, and that's closed to CPH professionals only, where we will discuss things about the CPH and recertification opportunities as well. And lastly, the next computer-based exam administration is June 1st through June 30th. So I'm going to take a break here now to see if there are any questions. Currently at this time, if you are interested in taking the exam during a month that we're not offering computer-based testing, for instance, May, you're not able to sit for the exam by computer-based testing in May. However, the next testing administration would be June, and then we're thinking about opening the testing to all year round, so you'll be able to test whenever you want after June. I believe we have testing locations in Nigeria. We have testing locations all over the world. So you would just want to go to our website and go to testing locations and type in your postal code or your zip code to find a testing location in either internationally or in the U.S. We have a candidate here who's asking, we have a candidate who's asking about their PhD candidate working on their dissertation, and they're at Walden University. So Walden University is actually going through CPH accreditation at the time. So students and alumni of CPH accredited schools and programs are eligible to sit for the exam. Well, Walden is a CPH applicant. So once they become fully accredited by CPH, which I think is in summer of 2018, you'll be eligible to apply and sit for the CPH exam. And the number of people that pass the exam on the first time that it's offered is 75%. And if you have a question, go ahead and key it into the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and I'd be happy to answer it for you. I'm not seeing any other questions. Oh, here's one. How do you find out if you are eligible? through the PSI application. Not sure I understand that question. To find out if you're eligible, you would go to our website and go to Eligibility Requirements, and you would look up the eligibility requirements. Again, the CPH exam is offered to students and alumni of CPH accredited schools and programs, individuals that have 5 years of public health work experience plus a bachelor's degree in any concentration, and a hybrid of individuals who have taken the core courses at a CPH accredited school or program of public health, yet either have a public health graduate related degree or 3 years of public health work experience. The passing score to pass the exam, again, it's different every time because each exam has a different cut score. So I can't tell you the exact amount of questions you have to get correct in order to pass, unfortunately. It's different for every exam. So the computer-based exam right now is only offered February, June, and October. However, we're thinking after June that it may be offered all year round. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me at info@nbphe.org. At the conclusion of this presentation, I am going to upload, I'm going to turn this presentation into a YouTube link, and I will email it to everybody along with the CPH Candidate Handbook and the content, the CPH content outline. Oh, there's one final question. If you have your MTH from Tulane, Tulane is CPH accredited. So if you're alumni of Tulane University, the School of Public Health, then yes, you are eligible to sit for the CPH exam. Thank you, everybody, very much for taking the time out of your evening to listen to the CPH presentation. I hope you have a wonderful National Public Health Week. Please take care and email us if you have any questions. We'll be in touch soon. Thank you. Good night.